Hello again, everyone. Deflect here, Firm but Fair Gaming. It's been a while since I put out an Evoker video and wanted to make a new one. I did play a lot of Preservation Evoker for rating purposes. I did a lot of keys as Devastation. I'm really enjoying Devastation. It's a little lackluster in some of the keys compared to some of the other specs, but you can't really compete with all of them just because of the kit yet. And I guess they're trying to buff it a little bit come 10.1. Now, I did a lot of comparison. To be fair, I have this only 410 gear because this is an old loadout I had on this guy. And I didn't bother uploading my new one. And I also am running the old tier set. So that is one thing to note. I also don't have a lot of haste on this one for some reason. Oh, because I was rating or doing Prez a lot. So I needed about 3% more haste anyway. But my new gear is much better. I just don't have it equipped. So this is a comparison just to show the DPS difference with the different builds. There is going to be two, I think, standout builds that are going to do more DPS than others. And I think you'll run one on Tyrannical and one on Fortified. I'll jump into build number 1 before we get too crazy and start seeing all the rest of the other ones. And then I'll go through the numbers. Oops, I definitely clicked that too early. And that way, once we see build number 1, I'll go 1 through 4 just because it's easier to go in the correct order. And then I will give you the results at the end. Now, this is an average of me doing a bunch of AoE packs. So I went to the training dummies. They are stationary AoE packs. Remember that? They are stationary and they are at full health. So that is key. It's a 6 target and then I did a 1 target as well. So I did AoE and single target on each build, because you do have to fight bosses and some of them are single target. Moving on to the first build, all the left stuff stayed the same. I didn't want to change anything on the left because I didn't want to do it per build and have it different and make that the differentiator. I did just keep it to the right. You're going to be taking key talents, obviously. You're going to want Pyre, you're going to want Dragon Rage, you're going to come down here and Disintegrate does more damage. So these are ones you're always going to take. Where it really changes is down in the bottom here. Some of the builds I went left, some of the builds I went right, some of them I did a combination. I did one with Firestorm, and these are the results. So this is build number 1. This one still has the Pyre flare-up. This one has the Eye of Infinity, where Eternity Surge deals 15% increased damage. It does have Shattering Star. It does have Catalyze. Moving down, it does a burnout, so your Fire Breath has a chance to give you a free instant cast of Living Flame. It does have Font of Magic. It does have Power Swell, Scintillation, or Scintillation. Scintillation's probably better. And Casualty as well. So it does have key ones here. This build is build number 1. And the difference between build number 1 and build number 2 is I took away these 2 talents and went with the 2 left ones, which gives you Imminent Destruction. Deep Breath reduces essence cost of Disintegrate and Pyre by 1 for 10 seconds after you land. After casting 12 Pyres, your next Pyre will explode into a Firestorm. And I got rid of Power Swell and Scintillation. That was the difference in build number 1 and 2. Build number 3 went a different route entirely, and I got rid of all these and went with the Firestorm build. I did go with Raging Inferno, where the radius is increased by 25%, your Pyre deals 25% more. This also is... I really like Snapfire, to be honest. I do like it. Having a free Firestorm is tremendous, but having more damage out of your best damage ability is also really good. So I did that test. I might run later the Snapfire to see if it's any better. But this was build number 3. And again, I lost Hoarded Power and Scintillation, but I kept Power Swell. And the last build I tested was an all-right build. This one was all blue, basically going down. It's going to be more of a Disintegrate build. And you would assume this would be a single target build. Now, the results are in. Take a wild guess which one came out on top. I had Jeopardy music I played now, but probably I would get trouble for Copyright. Anyway, going through that, I will show you which one came out ahead of each one. Now, I just added them. I know you don't add them, but it was the easiest way to get a direct comparison without going for an average and then making an average time and all that. So it was just added together boss damage and AoE damage. Tried to keep it simple. Tried to get the numbers kind of best where I would think. So number 2 build, the Firestorm build, the non-Firestorm build. Number 2, the non-Firestorm build, the one that drops a free Firestorm, did marginally more damage. It did 211k added together, so 156 for AoE, which is a monster AoE one, and 55 for single target, which is awful on single target. It's like worse than what we are now, which sucks. It's so good on AoE, and you would run this on fortified weeks where you really don't care about your boss damage because it is bad. Like, it's just bad. Firestorm build just didn't do as much AoE, and I don't know why. This one cranked for 156k. This one 138. Like, it was very underwhelming. Yeah, like the free Firestorm was great. Explodes into a Firestorm on your 12th one. But the actual full Firestorm build just sucked. To be honest, there's no way around it. It just sucked. But yeah, it does lag behind on boss damage. As you can see, single target was just pitiful. The rest of the builds, all of the rest of the 3, and this is on average, all finished out roughly the same. I'm going to work on a 5th build. I just haven't done it yet, and I'm going to really crunch some numbers and go through, because I saved screenshots of all the damage profiles as well. So I'm going to try and make a 5th build, but these are the 4 I could really test out right away. Going through that, though, this build number 4 is what you'll use on Tyrannical. It's the all blue build. Obviously, it crushes on boss. Like, it's as good as you can get on boss. This is unbuffed, and I did not lust, because you don't always have lust. So I didn't use lust, and I didn't use some other things just because I wanted to keep it as fair as I could. But this build just crushes boss. Like, amazingly crushes boss. So much so it was 10k DPS above the next closest and 20 some odd k above the other 2. Like, it just hammers the boss. So I'm going to try and see if I can come up with a build in between 2 and 3 and check out the damage profiles to get there. But as of right now, this is for sure a Tyrannical build / raid build. It just pumps. Like, you're doing huge DPS. I'm in old gear. You know, I didn't upload my new information, so my gear is only 410 on this guy. I don't have best in slots trinkets. I like none of that. It's just that much better. But everything was done equally, so every build had the same opportunity to use what it had. But yeah, going down, the Shattering Star grants Essence Burst, which is phenomenal. It's good for AoE because you can, you know, get an Essence Burst, Shatter Star, and then into a Pyre. You can Shattering Star into a Disintegrate. It just works really well for single target. It's huge single target. And you get all the best ones. Disintegrate reduces the remaining cooldown of your empowering spells by 0.5 seconds each time it does damage, so they don't want you to clip it anymore. Or what they're trying to get you to do is not clip it anymore. For the purpose of this testing, I didn't clip the Disintegrate, because I know they're trying to work away from that, so I did not clip it in any of the testing, in any of the single target. None of it. I didn't clip a single one. So you got as many as you got, even if you didn't have this talent. It's just unfortunate you didn't get it, but that is what I had. It has Hoarded Power. It has Scintillation. It has Iridescence. Like, it just has some great abilities. You know, it has a crit as well. So this one was it worked out very close to number 2 in total. And especially you'll see it walk away on boss fights where you're starting to get into like those, you know, 5-minute boss fights, 6-minute boss fights versus the 3-minute ones. So on the AoE weeks, you will definitely run like a build like this. I'm going to try and optimize it and see what really did the damage. Like I said, to see if there's a combination you can get rid of something, pick something else up. I don't know. I don't know if I can remove the Pyre flaring up one. I'm going to look into that, and I'm going to see if that's the majority of the damage, or if I need to get remove something else to get that. But again, that will come in a later video. I wanted to update you 10.1. There are 2 builds. They are viable. I will put them out. Don't worry. You can just, copy and paste them. Definitely have a look, and I'll put those in the description for you guys. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. This was Deflect, Firm but Fair Gaming for the Evoker, coming up in 10.1.